Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to present today. My name is Eustina Kwon. I am a research fellow at the University of Washington and Seattle Children's Hospital. I'm excited to present our work, which is in collaboration with Harborview Medical Center, titled Interpersonal Violence Affecting Pediatric Population, Patterns of Injury and Recidivism. We have nothing to disclose. Children are not immune to injuries related to interpersonal violence. Exposure to interpersonal violence, or IPV, as well as re-injury, can have a profound negative impact on a child with oftentimes long-lasting effects on their physical, mental, and social well-being. While recidivism after violent injury has been evaluated in the adult population, there are limited data in the pediatric cohort. In this study, we aim to describe IPV-related injury patterns in the pediatric trauma population and identify predictors of recidivism. The Harborview Medical Center Trauma Registry was used to identify all pediatric patients treated for traumatic injuries related to interpersonal violence over a 15-year period. We included Child Opportunity Index, or COI, in our analysis, which is a metric that captures community-level factors that may influence children's physical, emotional, cognitive, and social health. We identified a total of 635 patients, pediatric patients, who sustained injuries due to IPV. The majority of the overall cohort was male and publicly or uninsured, with 28% being Black. 42% sustained a firearm injury, 38% sustained an assault, and the remaining 20% were injured as a result of abuse. The mean overall and each of the individual domain COI scores were below 50 for each IPV mechanism type. This figure shows the type of IPV-related injury differing by age. The predominant mechanism in the younger age group was abuse, with assault and firearm injuries predominating amongst adolescents. Of the 489 firearm and assault patients who survived the first injury, 30, or 6.1%, had repeat injury due to IPV requiring treatment at our center, with a median time of 40 months between the first and second injury. The majority of recidivists were victims of gun violence, whereas the distribution between firearm injuries and assault in the non-recidivists was more even. 60% of the recidivist patients had the same mechanism between the first and second injury. In our multivariate logistic regression analysis, Black race and firearm injury were associated with greater than threefold higher likelihood of repeat injury after adjusting for age, sex, insurance, injury severity score, and overall COI. So in conclusion, injury due to IPV is a serious and relatively understudied problem in the pediatric population. We found in this study that type of injury due to IPV differs by age, but the group of children injured and re-injured by IPV appear to reside in communities with greater than average vulnerability and lower than average childhood opportunity. We believe identifying individuals and communities at greatest risk for injury and re-injury due to IPV will be valuable in informing developing violence prevention efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kwon, and we're open for questions.
Dr. Kwon, Dr. Barksdale, Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. I so enjoyed your presentation. I stand not to ask you a question, but to make a request with regard to the language that we use. We have abandoned using the term recidivism because recidivism implies that the victim is criminal, and I just have for you the definition. It is the tendency of a convicted criminal to reoffend. We prefer the term re-victimization. When you say recidivism, it implies that that person was an offender as opposed to potentially being caught in the middle of something. So I enjoyed your work, and I ask that you consider this as you are writing and speaking in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.